sports. It's in the game.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to RPM Season 6. It's the penultimate round already at the circuit of ZANDVOORT in the Netherlands. We finally have a Dutch Grand Prix for the many Dutch driver that we have in RPM. So we may, well, it would take some doing, but we may have, hopefully we have a home winner tonight. But let's wait and see what happens. Okay, getting to grips with everything. Once again, I've started a bit late, but it's more likely going to be just on time. So let's take a look at the drivers' standings then. No Riker again tonight, so Natalie will look to extend her margin. I'm under the impression when we go live, we will see that Natalie can win the championship tonight. I think she needs a 10 or an 11 point gap over Smith to secure that ahead of the final round, so we should be notified of that when that comes up. Still waiting on some ready ups. I think am I set? I believe I'm set. Yes. Right, we're underway. I think Jones entered the top 10 after a good result last time out, so he'll be wanting to stick and keep a hold of that. And another good result could quite easily see him bounce into the top 8, for example. But too far away from Danos and then the rest from 6th onwards. As for the constructors, Williams and Haas going tooth and nail. Absolutely nothing in it, really. Natalie will look to again put a bit of a bigger gap in between those two tonight. And Mercedes are still within the fight, obviously. Not out of it yet, but they need some big points if they're going to draw it back level. And Red Bull probably just a little bit too far out to be concerned with the title, especially with Riker not being present tonight. And it looks like AlphaTauri slipping away at the bottom. Not much luck of catching McLaren. And thankfully, we are in the short qualifying session. I have some snacks with me, so I apologise in advance. We've just updated the thing at the top there. I didn't realise it still said Canada. And we've got some drivers going out now. Let's see. Who is this? Is it Ivor? It is. Let's watch on board then with the Dutchman as he gets that Ferrari out early, well earlier than anybody else, and he says, I'm going to go ahead and have a good start and try and set a good time in the first of what will be 3 qualifying runs. He hasn't disabled his ERS on his outlap here, so let's hope that doesn't impede him too much, but he sets off. Let's see how he gets on. So from my memory, you can go pretty deep here, all the way up to the 50-metre board, and use the camber of the corner to help yourself get slowed down and turned in. You can use the curb all on the left. A nice little dab on the downshift. He's missed the apex there. Not too bad through here, and gets his foot to the floor, keeps it in a straight line. A decent enough exit, which is all important to set you up for the run. Down into turn 7. The long right-hander, high speed, one of my favourite corners on the calendar. And a bit of a difficult braking zone there, which he does alright, holds it in 6th, and again he could have used a little bit more track. But he keeps it together nicely. He is going to run out of VRS here though, before the end of the lap. So, Ivor comes around the last set of corners with 2% in his battery, and look at that, he's got exactly 0 as he crosses the line and sets a 13.222. Love me a flat number. We've got Shaq and Natalie in the chat. Natalie's saying wet race. I guess that's not fake news. It may be a guess, but if it is true, which I can't see, I don't think, maybe I can. Oh, of course I can. Oh, yes. Okay, people. We are in for a very, very wet, in fact, a stormy race start. So it could well be full wet conditions, full wet tyres, and we're still spectating either. Apologies for that. Rodo and Dino, Danos and Jula and Spivey have all gone quicker. Rodo by a big margin there, actually. Who's next to cross the line? Natalie sticks it on provisional pole position by over a 10th, nearly 2. And still hangs time good enough for P5. We've got, is that Ivor coming around and coming in? Yes, it is. And we've got the Aston Martin of Jones, who's about to start his lap. So we will ride on with him and see if he can put a dent in that top 8. Uses more of the track available on the left, which is good, and he hits this apex. Setting a purple sector 1 as well there, Jones. And he's hooking this one up nicely. Doesn't artificially use all the track, didn't need it, he had the grip and he kept it just off that left apex. Now he's opening the DRS, braking just as the curb starts. You can take quite a lot of that inside curb. Fastest second sector as well, he's on for a good time here. He's going to have a McLaren pass for a little bit of a tour. He's ducked out the way. He's used all of his deployment, but he does take provisional pole position on his first lap. He should get around for 2 more, but he's clear of Natalie by just over a 100th of a second. We've got a Haas off in the wall. Is that Matty? Yes, it is. Can't say I've ever seen those stands from that position, to be honest. Bit of a peculiar one. As most drivers now come in, you could see Bob Spud, who's a new name on the grid, as well as Kieran994 and Jula, I believe. So 3 new drivers, all in reserve positions, I think. Let's see how they go on. We've already had Jula, who's around the pace in the midfield. And Kieran down there toward the bottom. Now let's see what the third and last debutant has up his sleeve. He's already set 17, and now he sets a 12-2. Just shy of P5. But still quite a way off any of the front runners. A bit of a busy section of track here. We've got almost 7 cars within a matter of seconds of each other. Not sure who is on what strategy. He's on an outlap here. That's Danos. Jones is in the pit. Natalie is also on her outlap. And Scooter and Mucky are both flying. Let's see what Scooter can do from the back. Currently one of the only guys without time. Scooter finishes off that lap, and it's only good enough for 13th, unfortunately. 13.6, a long way off, a whole second away from the top 8. Natalie though is flying. She's coming toward the end of her lap, so we can catch this as it happens. Just still setting up a few links in the background, so bear with me. There's a lot going on. Okay, thankfully once again we have what's his name? So Natalie has taken pole position by half a second, so she's absolutely put a dent in Jones, and there is Jones letting her by, escaping onto the grass. Good thing he's kept it in a straight line. We'll catch up with him in a moment. Is Smith starting a lap? Yes, he is. So we'll catch him, and then we'll catch Jones. I'd like to see Smith put himself in the top 10, in the top 2 even. To do that, he needs about 6/10. So let's keep an eye on the mini sectors. Sector times even. Right, let's see. How's he going to stick it then? Not just enough ERS to get him over the line. The tyres seem okay. And we'll catch up with Jones, I believe, who's coming through the second sector now. Smith is a time only good enough for P7. He's improved by 3/10. Still a good lap, but nothing pressing against the top runners. And Jones now will catch his first 2 sector times here. He needs over half a second. Is he at least 3/10 up? Let's see. He's only 2/10 up. Oh, it was a good entry there. I fear that he might have ran a little bit deep. He uses the track well. He gets it tucked in well, and he's going to have DRS. Let's see then. He will improve, but it probably won't be enough for pole position. It's not. He's 3:10 shy. He can go again. Something saying Natalie will improve. She's getting prepared to come out for the final lap. The track is still quite live though, considering they've only got one opportunity left. Leaky is coming in. Let's follow a fellow Dutchman. Again, the other Ferrari. Yeah, unfortunately Jones has left the session again. So hopefully his new broadband isn't kicking up. Danos then exits the first sector, begins the second. It's looking okay so far. He is only a handful of tenths away from challenging for the second row of the grid, and he'll feel like he can do that. I'm sure he'll have been putting some practice in. Let's see. Oh, he's barely improving, only 6,000ths of a second. That looked tight though, this one. That might have been positive. He might have gained a tenth or two there. So let's see. Another good exit. Keep it tight. Right, that'll be good enough for P5. And he takes it away from me and says, no, I'll take P3 instead. He gets nearly 4/10 out of that one left-hander. And then sets himself up for a good exit. Great save, yeah. He'll know he's got more pace in the bag. He did the first 11 corners without an improvement, really. And then Claude Lowe back in the final three after Max Verstappen around Monaco, if you ask me. It's a great haul. However, Rodo has taken that and he drops him down into P3. And Natalie, is she just about to fly again? I think she is. And it will be for the last time. She's come out early, hasn't let the track evolve too much more. There's a huge pile of cars ahead. 4 cars that she needs to get her way through here. Oh dear me, this is distracting. She's going to get held up here, yep. Unfortunately, Spivey there, and the Alpine, if I believe it was Rodo then, have hampered Natalie there, so Jones in with a big chance. Let's see what the mini sectors are. I think she's probably aborted the lap. That was a really tight exit, so I don't imagine she's going to keep going. Well, this lap is well and truly done. Is she going to recharge and go again? Let's see. Not to when she had more than enough battery. And Jones will be waiting for the optimal time to come out. Natalie is in and done. Probably would have been worth one more push, but now all eyes are on Jones through the pit lane. I mean, this camera angle, amazing quality, amazing quality. The Aston Martin man comes out on a new set of slick tyres, and he knows that he's got 2.5 tenths to find here to take pole position. And we'll ride on, see how he gets on when he sets off on his flying lap. Rodo is done in behind, it looks like. Matty the same. Not many people really in a position to go when the track is probably at its best. Leakey's flying. He's only a few tenths off the front row as well. So we'll keep our eyes on this. That's not Jones there, is it? No, Jones has got plenty of time until the checker. He's making his way around. He ought to actually let a few cars go by and just give himself a good margin. Leakey still coming around though. I think he's aborted his lap. Yes, he has. So really, all eyes on Jones, who needs this gap. He's got it. Who's that in behind him? Inorganic won't be a problem. And it goes again. Connection didn't look great there. Lovely tucked into the apex there. No risks on the outside either. Bit of an issue there. And again, I'm not going to totally rely on what I'm seeing here, to be perfectly honest. The connection's not great, so hopefully it wasn't as bad as it looked through that section there. Definitely not, because the connection's a mess. And he's a tenth, nearly a tenth and a half up here in the first sector alone, which puts him only a tenth and a bit again away from Natalie. Again, I'm sure Natalie could have gone again. She recharged to 70%. Ivor did it from 60 earlier, just. And he's going to get a little tow here as well. Who's this? The Red Bull in front. Give him the ever so slightest little tow. And his connection's not good. The rain is coming down, actually. He should be okay. He will be okay. And he avoids that curve. He keeps it in a straight line. Foot flat to the floor here through the final right-hander of 14. Jones could be on. He's come off the throttle a little bit there. He's run out of ERS. And it's not an improvement. Something's gone wrong there. To the tune of the best part of half a second, really. So Natalie holds on to pole. She didn't have to run again. She's done what Vettel did. And she's taken pole position from inside the garage. And that is everyone else, I believe. Leakey is gonna box. Smith is facing the wrong way. And Jula looks like he's flying. And Scooter, see what Scooter gets as he crosses the line. He needs an almighty round to make anything, and the room won't help, so that'll be a P16 for him. And Jula on his debut can't improve, 1.5 seconds down, so no good there. Smith comes in, and that concludes qualifying. So Natalie on pole, Jones with a great effort. Unfortunately, it didn't come off in those final 2 sectors, but he starts on the front row. And Rodo and Danos. Danos the highest man there. I'm not sure Rodo's nationality, but I know Danos is the Dutchman at the top there. And the 2 Hasses in a good position. As a team, the Hasses probably come off in the best place. No fracks either tonight for Natalie's case, so good chance for Haas to really put a dent in that Constructors' Championship. Well, it is pouring down as we expected in ZANDVOORT, so we're going to have quite an interesting race on our hands. It could be a long one. The lap times will be slow and the safety cars could be plentiful. So strap in. We're still waiting for some players. Not sure how long that will take. Okay, we're starting now. Good. 5 seconds. Well, here we go. Jones is gone. Oh no. Right, well, unfortunately there, Jones's night looks to be over, and I believe this is an AI. And he's just, the AI is just overtaking that, so that just about shows. It's very unfortunate there. That promotes everyone up 1 position. Rodo, now in effect starting in P2, doesn't quite have the line for it, but let's just double check. Everyone will obviously be in the wet tyres, which means if you can take them to the end, there's no need to pit. We could dry toward the end of the race. The rain will get lighter, but only will it be dry after maybe 35-40 minutes. So do with that what you will. Right, so Jones's AI flying on ahead. So the drivers pull up on the grid then, and the 2 Hasses haven't done themselves any favours. They'll start with even colder tyres than they would have done already, and ironically it's the pair of them. So then, as more drivers get disqualified, up and down the grid the final car takes its position. I'm not sure the FIA would even run races in these conditions these days, but we go ahead here nonetheless, and we have a decent enough angle. We have 5 lights. And they're away. Mockey's picked up a penalty for a jump start. Let's see who gets a good start. Oh, someone there's flying up the inside. Leaky, I think that was. He's moved. No, it was Matty. Of course, it was Matty. He's now up into P2. Absolutely great start. These camera angles are horrific. Jones's AI. And, oh, three wide there. With Bob in the middle. Danos and Jones's AI. Jones's AI getting in the way a little bit here. And thankfully, somehow, it seems everyone's got away. Look at how difficult it is to read those conditions. Oh, and Rodo and Leaky going side by side through here. Oh, now, I'm not sure what's... Yeah, this is definitely AI. Dino should be looking to make up this opportunity while the driver ahead is under pressure and he's been overtaken. And Bob is under pressure here. Is Dino going to dive him? No, he's not. Natalie then holds on to a lead. Matty up 4 places. Great start from him, and Danos the same up onto the podium. Going from 4th to 3rd. And a terrible start, unfortunately, for the debut Kieran at the back there. And Jula and Scooter are going through the motions. Oh, it's treacherous going through there. Never quite committed to full power. But Jula looks fully committed to making this move. He's going to go around the outside of the McLaren. Scooter defends the inside line. Scooter gets it closed down and slowed down. And keeps it tight. And he just squeezes him ever so slightly there. He looked like he kept it well out of the way and then drifted over maybe. These two battling hard ahead. Rodo still on the back of Bob here. So far he has not spun. But in these conditions, it's as likely as it will ever be. And Moki's gone. Safety car's out. Full course safety car is out. No, virtual safety car is out for the Aston Martin in the wall coming out of turn 4. Well, exit of turn 3 before turn 4. He's obviously dropped it and put it in the right hand side barrier. I would guess. I've all been there. So we'll see. The gap's looking okay up and around the grid. Ivor has come in to pit, so he must have picked up damage. Let's check. Yeah, he picked up front right damage. So he's come in and had that part repaired, and we are green flag racing again. The closest gaps, not too many. Jones still here, putting pressure on Danos. He's making me think it's him, but I feel like he's enabling ERS in strange places. Short bursts of ERS. Seems to be something an AI might do. Obviously no DRS throughout this either, so it's all about your exit from turn 13 and 14. And obviously then also 10, but it's given. Jones now, let's see what happens here, because that's an AI move. So the AI is overtaking some of these drivers in these conditions. And he's becoming a real handful. So Danos slow there. An organic setting the fastest lap of the race. Yeah, Thanos really struggling to keep up, and Jones. I'm going to have to just leave that, I think. Oh, Scooter's gone for a drive over the grass, and Natalie takes back that time, I believe, by quite some margin. I swear it was a 28 before, and Kieran snips at the inside of Scooter. Now Snellhank coming into the pits. What's happened to him? No damage by the looks of it. Oh, he's serving the drive-through. So we picked that up earlier, I guess that's what he's done. Yeah. So that's put him right down to the back of the field. Not many guys battling. Smith is looking to get past Bob still. So as you might have guessed, Natalie is the current champion for 100 points on Smith as things stand. And it looks like things will stand that way unless she makes a mistake. She's got a 3.5 second gap over P2, and as for the teams, Haas sticking with them. Although Leakey has dropped off, Matty is flown up to P2 and steady there by Bob. That might set Smith off into a bit of a chance here, which I think it is. He's going to put a move. He's defended in an awkward position there, not letting Smith by easily. Fair play. So Jones is AI, Rodo, and that's it. Are the only guys, and Organic, only guys within a second, so there's not much fighting going on in the early stages here. Hopefully the circuit begins to dry up and the rain's stopping soon. And then a bit of strategy will come into play. And we'll see who maximises the switch over time, the crossover time. As it stands though, Danos on the podium. And Rodo looking to set off on Dino, but nothing doing at the moment. Jones's AI takes the fastest lap of the race, which sums up what we're seeing at the moment. There we go then. Driver's thinking it's time to loosen it up a little bit, and a few guys diving in for intermediate tyres, signs of positive things. Now I'm really not convinced if this is Jones's AI, because that seemed like a very precise pit entry. But here we are. We will never know until after the race. Then we will know. And he's gone. Is that Jones's AI who's gone for a wander? I can't even see him. Where is he? Is he like in the gravel trap? He's gone up and over there, and he's just out of view, I think. Strangely enough, where is he? He's disappeared, but he's gone, unfortunately. Whether it be AI or not, the Inters weren't doing it for him in this particular instance. Going back to it though, Smith, 2/10 off Natalie. Natalie must have pitted then, surely. Of course. And the gap already starting to increase. Dino comes into the pits and Smith will follow, I would imagine. Yes, he dives in. Matty, he's able to stay out. And he's the next challenger. So a double retirement for Aston Martin. A terrible day for them. I think that's the first time all season they've been the two and only and first drivers to be knocked out. So commiserations to them. It's an early walk back through the pit lane, the paddock. For those guys, Spivey was negative 33 seconds behind someone there. There he is, still negative 33 seconds behind, which is always good. Always good. And he rejoins the circuit in P11, and Salhan comes in at the back and he exits in P13. In Organic has gained a position on the overlap on Spivey. He is already on the Inters as Ivor, the other Dutchman, sets a 22.8, so a good lap from him. But the gaps, unfortunately, aside from Scooter here, both on penalties. Let's see, are they entry penalties or limits penalties? 3 entry penalties there from Dino, Jula and Scooter, so they won't impact much at the minute, but come the end of the race, when the dry conditions come, we'll soon see. That lap time was best part of 2 seconds quicker than the previous wet best time, and Natalie's just smashed it even further, closer to 3.5 seconds quicker, so the pace of the track is picking up nicely, which is good to see. We're right on board with P14 in his hunt for P13. 2 closest guys on the circuit. gap between Smith and Bob still closing in. Let's take a look at how they stack up against each other, lap time wise. Oh wait, we can't because yes, because Bob's phone won't have been asked to set up his telemetry. So we don't. So we can't do that. But it looks like Smith's gaining on him, I guess. Natalie now churning in the lap times, 20.5. That's rapid compared to what it was earlier. And grey skies are lifting, or the dark skies are lifting, turning to grey skies. Danos and Natalie there, exchanging fastest laps. We'll start seeing some real pace soon and some representative time, I'm sure. But for now, very little is happening on the circuit. So, we just saw Danos taking the fastest lap of the race, and he is putting a big challenge in on Matty. And he'll want to finish as high up as he can. He's been pretty consistent throughout the whole session tonight. Matty had a good start, but Danos has been there or thereabouts, and he's really going to put him under pressure in these intermediate conditions. That attack with some ERS. Does Matty have anything to defend with? A little bit, pretty much the same actually. And Danos again setting another fastest lap. Natalie must just be taking her time. At the moment, Danos seems to be taking half a second out of Natalie. Oh, and there it goes. Okay, he hasn't lost two. Okay, he's lost a second or so there. But yeah, he was severely gaining on Natalie over the last few laps. But the gap to Danos, the gap to Matty has been extended there. Danos reeling him in here. He should put himself in the position to dive up the inside of turn 11. Wants to keep it nice and tight, and he has. He's got a great exit, I think. Oh, maybe not as good as it looked initially. Now drivers looking to go to slicks. Natalie has caused a bit of a chain reaction here. And the mediums go on for Danos. The mediums also for Rodo. Matty the same. And Natalie, all the drivers now out on a fresh medium set. No one's gone hards, which is about right. Yeah, I think you have to be careful, but I think it'll be okay. Now it's going to change up the order, maybe slightly here. Let's get the tyre data on. Kieran stayed out. He's going for another lap. His lap times will probably be slow at this point. Let's see how he gets on in these drying conditions. So we should now see lap times increase by a matter of seconds. So it's all positive. A lot of understeer there. Got it tucked in the end. And now he comes in. He hasn't lost out too much. See where he comes out. Danos has really dropped it to Matty, and someone's off there. It's the Red Bull. Jula has kept it going though. Oh, good. Kieran is going to get passed by the next 3 drivers. But he puts himself up into P9. Not too much of a bad result there, to be honest. As Bob says, the fastest lap of the race. I'm sure that will soon be taken by likely Natalie once the tyres get up to temperature. Organic finds himself up in P10. Good recovery from him there. He's been down in the dumps for most of the race, but he's up into the top 10. But the gap's still huge up and down the grid. Apart from here though. Oh, and they're going wheel to wheel. Looked as though they were going to collide, or Ivor could have put it on the grass. But Scooter has stayed ahead. Ivor will want this position. He absolutely sends one down the inside and gets it nicely slowed down. Scooter has no option but to back out. Great move by Ivor. Committed braking, and there's a 1:14. Absolutely smashing the wet times. Yellow flag there. Who's that? Scooter has made a mistake. He's going to find himself in P15 soon. The 2 McLarens not having the best of days. But Danos now still churning in those lap times. And soon he's going to overtake Matty. He's a man on a mission to get this P2. And there's another yellow flag. It's Scooter again who's gone off in the gravel. Let's hope he rejoins safely. I don't think that was too safe, to be honest. I missed it though. He stays out of the way. Oh, and Danos again with another mistake. Similar section again. Rounds turn 8, 9 and 10. And again he's given the gap back to Matty. He's his own maker here. If he doesn't get the P2, the podium not guaranteed. Rodo could be showing some pace soon as well. At least we haven't had a full course safety car yet, and hopefully, like I think we won't get one in the dry. I say that, that's okay. It's just Scooter DNFing in the pit lane. That's fine, no threat of a safety car there. And Rodo is going to be under pressure. Sorry, Danos is going to be under pressure from Rodo here. If he doesn't watch himself, that gap to P1, well and truly gone. And this Stanhank's come back out on track. Oh, sorry, Scooter's come back out on track. And the battle for P2 really, really ramping up now in the dry. We've got 3 cars within a second and a half of each other. Exactly what you want to see. And it bodes well for a final 12 laps. 11 laps after these few corners of the Dutch Grand Prix, in which a Dutch driver looks to hang on to the podium, if not take P2. But as it stands, he's not really. He's had his chances, but it looks like he's under more threat from behind now than he is posing, and he's got a far worse exit there than Rodo. Natalie again taking it from the 25s to the 20s to the 15s into the 14s now. But Danos is going to use all of his battery to stay ahead, and Rodo, in doing so, takes the fastest lap of the race at 13.8. First driver into the 13s. Absolutely huge gap to Rodo in behind, so people know here they can afford to fight, and they'll probably still come out in P4. I would imagine they'll hold anything risky until the very end of the race though, just to be sure on that. No safety cars or anything. All the while Matty is also running out of ERS, so all these guys struggling. DRS will be enabled obviously, as it has been. So Rodo will get a nice helping of the double toe. Not too many more drivers inside DRS, only 2 down the grid. And Danos not even in DRS anymore, so he is under severe threat here. And it will be the same down the main pit straight. Now it's all really on Rodo. What's his times compared to Natalie? He's a 10th and a half quicker than Natalie on the last lap. However, he dropped 6/10 to it. The lap just gone. Now Danos encroaching back within a second. This is where the action is, and it will likely be the only action we'll have for the remainder of this race. Let's hope it stays. In organic up into P9. Bob loses another position. He's opted for the hards. He must have picked up some damage just now, because he wouldn't have just come off the inters, would he? And now here he goes. Danos has had his opportunity. Is he going to defend? Rodo sticks one down the inside. He cuts the curb. Danos doesn't really leave him the room. But he's bound to get his elbows out at his home Grand Prix. Natalie, 13.5 now. Putting the gap to Rodo even further. And he'll have been held up there. And he defends the inside very aggressively. Almost immediately does Danos. He's allowed to move back over, which he's done. And Rodo sends one up the inside. Danos cannot defend it. And now it's going to be a DRS battle between the Alpine and the Ferrari for the remainder of the Dutch Grand Prix. Looking up and down the grid, Spivey. He's looking to put a move on inorganic perhaps. And is that Natalie approaching in blue flags? Yes it is. She's got the Haas of Leaky out the way for blue flags. She's taken Snellhenk already. And either Spivey and inorganic will be next up. But Spivey does someone up the inside of inorganic to make minor contact there. Just about caught it. And inorganic I think is just happy to recover there and let that place go. Meanwhile the top four have split off a little bit. And what now then? We've got Ivor battling with inorganic while Natalie wants to get ahead. And Ivor's gone through. And they do well to stay out of the way. Inorganic poses no threat and actually loses a position to Leaky in doing so. Unfortunately, he's dropped down from P9 to P13 in a matter of corners, unfortunately there. And Danos has gone to the pits. Why is he pitting? Has he picked up damage? He's gone for softs. And maybe he doesn't think the mediums are going to last till the end of the session. We can check. Let's have a look. Roda's tyres only on 24%. So I'm not sure what Danos' strategy is here. You might think there'll be a safety car and he doesn't have to pit, but you know, he could be. We'll see. But he's conceded that position, 20-second gap, and now he allows Rodo to push on and challenge Matty ahead. I want to send. Oh wait, no, that was. Wait. Oh no, it was on an organic or hydro, I believe there. Yeah, it was. So me thinking that he just sent it at the inside of Matt Haas for the P2, but he hadn't. Just on past an organic. Matt is also pitted onto the softs. does get that move done into turn 1. It has been coming, and the ERS is just about similar. Now what pace have they got to battle on with each other? There's Kieran and Dino going wheel to wheel. They're still wheel to wheel. And the AlphaTauri sticks his nose ahead and stays ahead. And he's absolutely flying, but Dino's got a bucket load of ERS that he can deploy over these next 4 laps. 6 laps even. Good math. But all importantly, the battle's still raging on the front for P2. So Rodo's managed to get himself out of the DRS. He's close, Matty, but he's out of it at the moment. Let's see how he gets on through the next trap, which is just at the exit there of turn 13. And Jula, the only other guy inside DRS. Again, big gaps up and down the field there. 5 different drivers with over a 15-second gap. Huge spread of the pack for the remaining 14 drivers. And Jula really putting pressure, and he's got past, I think. Yes, he has. He got past Dino. And is Dino going to get the switch back? No, he doesn't. But is he going to set himself up for DRS? He has. And is he going to get the better exit? Oh, it's difficult there for Jula, who seems to still get a pretty decent exit. And very early on the brakes from Dino. He's still got all that ERS to use up. Issue in sector 1, it's all gone. Okay, now though, and who's that off? It's Danos, he's in the wall. Is that going to be a late safety car? It's the last possible opportunity to bring out a safety car. And we're hopefully going to see Danos here. Again, similar to Jones, he's just dipped into that crevice. And we can't see him anymore. There he is, straight on. Straight into the wall. So Danos, after riding high in 3rd and challenging for 2nd, after what's been a very consistent night, drops it at the last. Disaster for Ferrari then. They join Aston Martin. Unfortunately, either in P14 and the rest DNF'd. And that now cements that podium place for Matty and Rodo. Granted, they don't make any mistakes. Natalie will be champion and is champion. As things stand in her debut season of RPM, she comes in and takes the title away from Matty. Let's head down to the final few laps of this race. Anything giving here for P10. It's not going to be done outside of DRS, I don't imagine. On the penultimate lap, the tyres will be wearing. However, Matty is right on the back of Rodo, and he's going to have a couple more DRS opportunities to get a move done. Issue in Sector 2, is that Spivey gone? Yes it is. He doesn't get in the way of the front runners. Wonder if that was contact with Leaky or if he's made his own mistakes. A lot of drivers going off in that area of the circuit. We'll keep an eye on this battle because I feel it's only right to ride on board with Natalie as she sets off on the final lap before she's confirmed as champion. She waves by Inorganic. Or is that Dino even? That could be Dino, you know. It is Dino. She's lapped up the P7. And she sets off now. Won't get the Red Bull in P8. She won't get the Red Bull in P7, but she sets off on her final lap of the Dutch Grand Prix to see home what's been a pretty successful evening. Pole position, hasn't lost the lead of the race at any point and has brought it home after 36 laps in mixed conditions. She was the first to call onto the slick tyres and she's got the job done. It's only a matter of corners to go now. Turns 10 through 14 to go. She's kept it tidy through 10. She's going to use that ERS to extend that gap. Can she get 10 seconds over Rodo? And dives into the braking zone of 11 and 12. And again, really smooth on the power. Matty doesn't look like he's in a position to take P2. No one else is in a position to make a move, and she rounds the final corner for the final time in this penultimate round and wins the Dutch Grand Prix from pole position and cements that. All drivers in behind P7 finishing the race there a lap down, and Rodo coming across the line in P2. A great drive from him, and Matty the same. Had a rocket start off the launch and has managed to hold on to a podium. Smith comes back and takes P4. All in all, a decent result, helped obviously by Jones and Danos' issues. Kieran, Jula and Bob ironically finishing P5, 6 and 7, the three reserve debutants finishing together ahead of Dino in the Alfa Romeo, Leaky in the Haas, who's dropped down a few places from the start. Spivey, Snellhank, Inorganic and Ivor rounding off the finishes, and it looks like these guys are still in control as they cross the line. Ivor's not going to be in a position to challenge. I don't think he wanted to challenge. I think he just let them finish the race. Good sport, but unfortunately no Dutch delight. No Dutch delight this time for those guys. Two Ferraris there, 13th and 14th, one DNF, and then Scooter Jones and Mocky in the Aston Martins and McLarens, bringing home nothing for their teams tonight, unfortunately. So that's another round concluded, and next time we will be off to Brazil for the rightful season finale. Should be the season finale in real life, but it's not because of various things like money. And that's going to be it from me. We'll get these results in, and that'll be that. So Natalie confirm the win there, the third and the fastest lap. Very good lap by her, so max points tonight. And there's the rest of the finishes. So thanks everyone for watching, and we'll catch you again next week before the end of the season. See you next week.